Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. BC?
Yes, I have a story. The World Health Organization yesterday warned that the coronavirus disease is still a major threat and despite partially, passing under the radar, it's still there. The United Nations also noted that almost 10,000 COVID-19 deaths were reported in December, and the data from various sources was pointing to an increased transmission during the Yuletide season because a lot of people came together, and they are saying that the JN.1 variant is not the one that's commonly reported across the globe. So they said, although COVID-19 is no longer a global health emergency, the virus is still circulating, changing, and killing. And aside from the 10,000 deaths reported to the World Health Organization last month, there was also a 42% increase in hospitalizations and a 62% increase in intensive care unit admissions compared to November. So the increment was more in December, and the data were based on what they had gotten from different countries, mostly in Europe and in America. And so they are saying, though they do not have the reports of other countries on the increase of COVID-19, but we must begin to take precautions because it's still very much alive, though it doesn't make the news as such, but we must be careful so that we don't bring it back again. Nima?
Okay, so I have the marketers, oil marketers meeting with Dangote over for supply. So the independent marketers of petrol, I'm trying to get their full names quickly. I've met with the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, met with Dangote Industries, according to the Punch in the beginning. And, they're discussing distribution of petroleum products across the country. The refinery that has a 650 billion per day capacity requires 6 million barrels to start production. They said they've only received 1 million, but they started disbursing. They say ultimately by January they will start having products out. Yeah. But one of the officials of Dangote refinery said the meeting will hold that it has not held yet. I'm hoping that they hold that meeting and it sorts out the independent marketers and we can focus on major marketers and NMs.
Okay, so the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on Wednesday received a donation of ₦1 billion from a renowned philanthropist and entrepreneur, Mr. Femi Otedola, to support the state's security architecture in Lagos State. The governor received the donation in the company of the chairman, LSSTF, Mr. Kehinde Durosimi, and the executive secretary, also Dr. Abdulrazak Balogun, and other state officials. Otedola, the chairman of Geregu Power Plant, and the son of the Third Republic Governor of Lagos State, was represented by his daughter, Olawumi Otedola, and they were there to present the governor with that fat check. So, speaking on behalf of our father, Olawumi commended to Sanwo-Olu and the state, Lagos State Security Trust Fund, for their hard work in keeping Lagos safe and advised the fund to continue in its culture of transparency and judicious use of resources. Of course, our governor was quite pleased, and he said that he was really thankful and celebrated the philanthropist. Let's go to the next paper now. Daily Sun, CBN kicks out 5 banks board. Focus on restructuring Nigeria in 1 year will ask Tinubu. UNILAG, Prof's son records 5.0 CGPA. Imo set for Uzodima's second term inauguration on Monday. Newly refurbished forensic lab will enhance NDLEA's performances, Marwa. Supreme Court affirms Fintiri's victory as Adamawa governor. And Southeast APC tackles Soludo Oti over suspension and arrest of traditional rulers. Okay, which story are we starting with?
UNILAG.
Okay, go ahead.
Son of a professor at the University of Lagos, UNILAG Akoka, David Oluwatomiwa Akanmu, has recorded a perfect score of 5.00 cumulative grade point average. CGPA.
Fantastic.
To emerge the overall best for the 2021 to 2023 academic session. Excellent, right? Yeah. The Vice Chancellor, Folasade Ogunsola, who disclosed this at the pre-convocation briefing, said that the university produced 340 first-class graduates and 97 from the Faculty of Management Sciences and 57 and 47 from the Faculty of Science, with 57 and Faculty of Engineering, respectively. She revealed that 39 students obtained distinctions from the College of Medicine in different courses.
Fantastic. That's good news.
That's very
So I have
the son of a professor. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a song that in Lagos. Because some teacher,
Exactly. It's expected. Well
Yeah,
done.
go ahead.
Well done.
Okay, so the NDLE are celebrating a donation of a forensic lab, or the upgrade of their forensic lab, by the United States Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, INL. Femi Babafemi, the spokesperson of the NDLE, was there representing the boss, and he said that the facility would, of course, improve their services. He said with the facility, they are now anticipating provision of state-of-the-art analytical equipment, which will enhance optimal performance in line with the standard operational laboratory procedures and best practices, which in turn, of course, will enhance evidence-based analytical processes in their forensic analysis. This is a welcome one, but the part where they are still waiting for donation of equipment is what worries me. I think we should be investing in that already.
Yeah. Vanguard, quickly, CBN sacks board management of Union, Keystone, Polaris banks. Suspension, PERMSEC takes over humanitarian ministry from Beta Edu. Economic reforms, NECA analysts, experts align with World Bank on ease of inflation. Retired Civil War soldiers protest unpaid 44 years pension in Oyo. Tax waivers on imported mining equipment, others underway, says federal government. Alleged 6 billion naira fraud, ex-power minister Agunloye docked, remanded in prison, so Soyinka raises alarm. Okay, which story are we taking?
Let's take the protest by retired Civil War soldiers. And they've been protesting unpaid 44 years pension. This happened in Oyo State. It said 100 of Nigerian retired soldiers who defended the country during the 1966 Civil War yesterday took to the streets of Ibadan, Oyo State capital, over unpaid pensions since they retired 44 years ago. The ex-servicemen had their placards with varying inscriptions, and they were saying that they deserve, they were asking if they deserved what has been going on or what they have been going through after defending the country with their blood. So they had to speak with journalists at the state headquarters in Ibadan. The national coordinator of the retirees, Babawande Philip, retired, was the one that lamented the painful aspects of their situation. And they said that the perceived enemies who fought against the country at the time have been paid by the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, and while they who defended the country with all sorts of bullet wounds are still languishing in pain and sorrow. So a few of them talked to the press about it, and they said that they had fought. They've been deprived of their pension rights. In 2015, they asked them to do a capturing in Abuja, where all of them were issued a certificate of, genuine service. So they were acknowledged to be genuine. They were acknowledged to really have served the country, and they have the certificates. But till then, or till now, they have not gotten anything out of it. He said over 100 of them have died, no money to take care of themselves. Some of them are already physically challenged. There was one who became blind 20 years ago. He said all his family members are dead. There's nobody to take care of him, and yet he cannot even receive, his pensions from the work that he had done. Some of their widows were there too, who said their husbands have died, they are suffering, their children are suffering, there's no hope, and they are going to continue fighting for this with the last drop of their blood till the government attends to them. I think the government should do the needful.
That's very sad, sir.
Yeah, very sad.
Really, really sad indeed.
Yeah.
The Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday remanded the former Minister of Power and Steel, Olu Agunloye, in Kuje Correctional Service over an alleged $6 billion fraud in connection with the Mambila hydroelectric power station. We've been on this Mambila forever. Well, he pleaded not guilty in front of the judge. Some of the allegations, according to the EFCC, said that he was arraigned on 7 counts of fraud, of fraudulent award of contract. Also alleged that on May 22nd, 2003, he awarded a contract titled Construction of 3,960 megawatts Mambila hydroelectric power station on a build, operation, and transfer basis to Sunrise Power without any budgetary provision, approval, and cash backing. The EFCC also said By so doing, the ex-minister violated Section 22, subsection 4 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offices Act of 2000. Okay, let's move on quickly now to the final paper for this morning.
You did mention that Shoyinka raised an alarm.
Oh, yes, I didn't get to that part, but go ahead. You have that part of the story.
Professor Shoyinka raised an alarm saying that they shouldn't put him in Kuje prisons, that, so that the fate of Bola Ige doesn't happen to him, that they've been investigating the death of Bola Ige, and that, well, he feels that it's because of that.
Really? I don't know. Okay, the Nigerian Tribune, our final paper. Let's find a story of not taken at all. Army redeploys 975 officers, cancels 120 postings. Amotekun arrests 2 caught with human head body parts in Shaki. Court to deliver judgment in suit seeking to stop elections from holding on Saturdays. Attack on Ekoko. Kogi government arrests 6. Prospective corps members now to register with NIN. And Shoyinka raises the alarm as court remands Agunloye in Kuje prison. That's what you just talked about. Okay, let's take 1 story or 2 stories.
Yes, this Amotekun, the body parts, you know, they've arrested, the Amotekun have arrested 2 boys, a 32-year-old Adebisi and 35-year-old Abdullahi, for possession of a human head and human body parts. What had happened was this guy, his car broke down, so he wanted to do the tire. When he looked under, he saw a cellophane bag, brought it out. It was human head inside.
It wasn't his own car that he was fixing.
It was his own car now. He was trying to change the tire. And so he raised the alarm. See human head, though. So they now went to a house where this Adebisi was. He was when they looked inside, they found human body parts and different parts of and animal bones. And they went to the other one. The other one is a ritualist. Then they now traced that head to a young boy who had been buried a few hours before.
Wow.
When they got to the graveside, the family were just cementing the graveside.
Oh, my God. Horrible.
You know? So horrific. Young 28-year-old, the family were even sad when they said, wait, first.
Is this the head?
This is the
God.
Father in heaven.
Of
They're such wicked.
And the family was so distraught. And
Wicked people.
Hey.
We have to wrap up now, but I'm happy that the NIN, so the NIMC are going to be partnering with the NYSC to ensure that every corps member expected to register for mobilization with their NIN. And this was part of the deliberations during the meetings of NYSC management and the National Identity Management Commission, led by its Director General, Abisoye Koka-Odusose, in Abuja on Wednesday. The NYSC DG said that the collaboration with NIMC on corps mobilization would strengthen the online registration process and the scheme. If you recall, the investigative journalist who ended up becoming a corps member through getting illegal degree from the school, was doing the degree mill scandal. So obviously NYSC is trying to tighten that process to ensure that nobody can just come and serve without proper documentation identification. Okay, that is all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, it's Thursday, it's our gisting day. We have a guest co-host today, and we're talking about some very juicy topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.